Hi everyone, welcome to this Google Digital Garage training session on Create Video for YouTube. My name is Benedict. I'm a trainer for Google's free skills training program, Google Digital Garage. Just a bit about myself. I'm an experienced coding specialist and digital skills trainer, as well as having a background in the digital creative industry. I've worked in this sector for over 20 years. I would also like to introduce our amazing moderator, Mohammed. Mohammed is also a Google Digital Garage coach and will be interacting with you and answering just about all of your questions via the instant chat to the right. You can identify the moderator by his name, Mohammed, as well as a little blue spanner next to his name. Now, just before we start, I just want to call out a few things to help you today. Firstly, if you're having any trouble viewing the webinar, please do try refreshing your page at any point. If you would like to join the instant chat today, and please do, it's a great opportunity for you to be able to interact with us. You do need a YouTube account, which you can very easily set up by clicking on the box on the right there as well. Now, we will be pausing throughout the session to answer some of the questions that Mohammed kindly passes on to me. So please do feel free to fire away with your questions throughout. And just to let you know, we are running this Google Digital Garage virtual training as part of a broad offering of courses. If you would like to check out our schedule of upcoming webinar training, please see the information on this in the description below, which links you through to our website. And what is absolutely fabulous, we are doing this today in partnership with Wenta, which is wonderful. So we are excited to be delivering this webinar in partnership with Wenta today, and we welcome all the guests that they have invited to join this Google Digital Garage training. Now, I will now read out a short introduction on behalf of Wenta before we start. Wenta are a not-for-profit social enterprise who are now coming up to their 40th anniversary. Congratulations. They provide one-to-one tailored business advice to support you with your business needs, as well as a range of training webinars on various topics, from marketing to bookkeeping to help you with your venture. Now, in addition to this, Wenta provides specialist net zero advice with their Action Zero program, a range of savings discounts, as well as having office space, virtual offices, and meeting rooms to hire. Now, for further information, you can reach out to Wenta on www.wenta.co.uk. Thank you very much, Mohammed, for providing that. And then also you can contact them on 01438 310020. So this is wonderful. So all of that with the introduction and everything of Wenta and everything, let us now look at what we will cover today. And can I just say, welcome to all the people who are attending. I've seen already there is Camila from Puerto Rico, entonces podría hablar en español si lo prefieres, porque viví ahí durante 7 años. Kimi, I think you've put yourself down as, sorry, I'll go back into English for everyone. And we've got Natalia from Colombia as well. So this is wonderful. Michael from Luton, UK. Okay, excellent. Yes, good point there, Michael. When I finish the talk, up to 24 hours after I finish the talk, you can go back and check out the video. It'll be the same URL and everything. You can check it all out. So do check it out, these different things. Obviously try to write them down. But the biggest thing is you're interacting. And it'd be a shame if you go back now to check out the different things, because you're missing out on the interaction and everything. So stay with us. And then, as you brought up there, Michael, you can take part. You can check out the different things that you missed. Gracias, Camila. Okay. Welcome, Bianca from Milton Keynes. Excellent. This is wonderful. So I'll keep my eye on that as much as possible. Please do introduce yourselves. It'd be great to hear. And Gary from Victor, New York. Excellent. Welcome. So I keep my eye on this whilst I'm giving the talk and everything. But now let us get started with the first point here. So let's go over this. Now, as always, we divide our talks into 3 main points. So today we're going to help you find your niche, what you're passionate about and who is your audience, create great content. We'll look at the steps to take when planning and shooting and some tips along the way, and then getting started, get found and track your success, no matter what you're aiming for, whether that be creating a channel for fun or to potentially create a money revenue. We will look at how you get your channel seen. So those 3 areas: your niche, great content and getting started and actually gauging how you're doing, which is very, very important. Now, before we carry on, let me just quickly say as well, welcome Barbara from Swansea, excellent. Welcome George from Derby, excellent. I'm not too far away from you. And let me see now. Okay, so let me now go on to the next point. Now, this is very important. There's a great opportunity here because you could be having one-to-one mentoring from any of us. At present, I'm afraid this is only within the United Kingdom, but it's free one-to-one mentoring. It's available from Google. There you can see the g.co/UK mentoring. You put that in. And Mohammed, thank you very much. He's providing you with a link so you can just click on it and go through and you can book for a session. Now, as I said, unfortunately, at present, it's only within the UK. My apologies to other countries and everything. It would be great if we could be, but hopefully, eventually, this will expand out to different countries. So, I mean, we could help you with anything, whether it's your business plan, whether it's your particular, stage that you're going through with your company, whether it's sales or marketing, whatever it might be. We're here to assist you and help you as best we can. Okay, so that aside, let's move on to this. Now, to give an overview of these different things, YouTube is the world's largest video network and the second largest search engine behind Google. The platform enables you to share your unique stories, very, very important, and build connections. There are over 2 billion logged in users visit YouTube each month, meaning almost 1/3 of the internet. Now, every day people watch over 1 billion hours of video and generate billions of views. YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google. So 500 hours of video uploaded every minute. So this is a big thing, people really do watch them a lot. And of course, being present on YouTube gives you a voice and an opportunity to connect to audiences. So it's very much a form of social media, which would be great to take advantage of. Okay, excellent. So we've got welcome Eric from London, Ontario, Canada. Excellent. I was going to say London, UK. No, London, Ontario, Canada. That's excellent. And Siri, welcome from how do I pronounce this? Hertfordshire, I guess. Is it Warri? I'm not sure the pronunciation. I should know, but that's in Hertfordshire. Welcome, Siri. Okay, so I'm going to continue with this now. So, so going through these different things. So having your say on YouTube. YouTube's mission is to give yourself a voice and to show them, the world. These are the YouTube's 4 essential values of freedom. I'm going to go through each of them, but it's very, very important, what they stand for. Firstly, there's freedom of expression. Now, on YouTube, people can express themselves and share their story with the world. The idea that everyone has something important to say. Now, YouTube believe that people should be able to speak freely, share opinions, foster open dialogue, and that creative freedom leads to new voices, formats, and possibilities. Second one is freedom of information. Now, everyone should have easy, open access to information, and that video is a powerful force for education, building understanding, and documenting world events, big and small, whether your passion is cars or cakes. There is a space for you and your passion on YouTube. Third, freedom of opportunity. On YouTube, anyone can follow their passion and create something that everyone can watch. Now, everyone should have a chance to be discovered, build a business, and succeed on their own terms, and that people, not gatekeepers, decide what is popular. And then fourth, freedom to belong. Everyone should be able to find communities of support, break down barriers, transcend borders, and come together around shared interests and passions. Now, I did want to go through every single element of that. Those are very, very important. Those 4 areas that YouTube wants to particularly give you the opportunity to achieve through YouTube. Now, the first step to getting started on YouTube is to define a message for your video by finding your niche. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Finding your niche particularly. Okay, so understanding your what, why, and who. Now, you'll notice with a lot of our different talks, we do talk quite a lot about structure. The idea is with a structure, it helps you build these different things. And when you're working these different things out, it helps you, immediately you've got a structure. Even if you think a blank page, at least you've got a structure to help you. Okay. So identifying the foundations of your channel is going to help you create content you enjoy and are passionate about and reach like-minded people. So what, why, and who? What is your channel about? Okay, why are you creating content? Is it for fun, potential work, document your experiences, share your experience, have a focus, a new hobby? And who is your audience? Who is going to watch your content? This will really help you decide the tone and style of your videos. And then, of course, creating a full and rounded idea of what you're doing, why you want to do it, and who you are aiming it at helps you to focus your attention and create content with purpose. Content with purpose. So let's start with the what. Okay. So define your passion. So what is your channel going to be about? One of the best things about YouTube is that you can engage with and grow a community no matter what you're passionate about. Whether it's comedy, sports, fashion, gaming, food, or simply everyday life, it could be anything. Now, obviously, I'm just touching a few of the different things. A good colleague of mine is really into gaming, and he plays these different games. He had 2 people who were viewing him on the first session. Those eventually became his mentors, and now he's got hundreds of people who follow him. So, I'm sure you'll be able to find people who are like-minded, which is particularly important. So through YouTube, you have the power to connect with a large and diverse audience with the same passions as you. So determine your passion and what are your values and beliefs. A little bit before I was telling you about YouTube's particular beliefs and everything and what they feel should be offering to people. What are you passionate about? What is your story? Story is very, very important. I come back to that. So story is so important. So identify your goal. Now, before you do anything, reflect on your channel's mission. Why did you join YouTube and what do you hope to accomplish with your content? So why are you creating content? And ask yourself what you're actually aiming for. Then you can be clear of what you're really going for with the particular things with your content. Now, whether you want to build awareness of your passion, influence and inspire your viewers, entertain people, or just simply have people love what you are doing, creating content gives you a chance to positively influence your audience and build trust, which ultimately, of course, grows loyalty with your audience. This is a big thing, of course, loyalty. To build up loyalty is very, very important. Before you actually start to create content, you need to be clear on, your particular goal. If you are clear on your goal first, it makes it a lot easier to create the steps to actually get there because you know where you're going. So let's look at some channels and what their goals might be. So we've got here Mama Cherry. We've got here, I want to inspire people to love and cook soul food. This is her particular, this is what she wants, this is her goal. So she starts off with, welcome to my channel. Together with my family, foster children, and friends, we will be sharing soul food recipes, cooking tricks, tips, hacks, all seasoned with love. So that's her particular communication. Then we've got another example here, Super Sorrel. I want to create a community of toy collectors. This is his passion. So a YouTube channel aimed at adult nostalgic toy collectors. Super Sorrel posts daily, bringing toy content and action figures reviews 7 days a week. He says, I unbox things so you don't have to. You can enjoy it. You don't have to pay for it. You just enjoy it by watching it. So detailing world. I want to share my passion for cleaning cars. Now, this is fabulous. I wish I had that passion as well, but it's great if you have that passion, you'll be sharing it. So Detailing World started as a forum and has used YouTube to actually showcase videos and grow their community. One of the big things is often people will be going online to check out the different things that they can learn. So there's a lot of things that you could be communicating through that. So get clear on your goal and you use it as a foundation to plan out your content. Very, very important. So the big thing here now, I would like you to communicate with us now and share possibly here in the chat that we have here. If you could actually share particularly, your what and why. I know I'm putting you into the spotlight on you suddenly, but the point is, it's a great opportunity to just try out some of the different things. So what are your what and why? Could be, for example, my what is music and my why is to teach piano guitar, for example. My what is politics and my why is to spark debate, for example. My what is makeup and my why is to showcase my talent. Just some examples. Any particular ones there? Let me just keep an eye out. So great opportunity. Do share that with us. I'm going to give you a little bit of time because there's a little bit of delay from when I've spoken and then, of course, you see it on the video and everything. So just to give you a chance, an opportunity. So do share your what and why. It can be obviously your business that you run, but maybe worded at least your particular, possibly your unique selling point that your business wants to particularly communicate. And that's really important. Barbara, artwork. Excellent. So your what is artwork? Lovely. Why? To share my nature-inspired designs. Lovely. I love it already, Barbara. That's great. George, mental health, well-being and improvement. Excellent. Yes, yes. Particularly now, George, with a lot of with the lockdown and so forth, and a lot of crucial issues of prices and inflation and all the rest going up, and a lot of difficulties around the world. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, George. That's great. Gary, I help manufacturing executives build smarter supply chains. Excellent. So build up a whole system. Thank you, Gary. That's great. Thank you for all three of you. That's fabulous. So, I mean, obviously, if you still haven't managed to type it in, do type it in now. I'll keep my eye on it. But it's a great opportunity to get. One of the things as well with these talks is that if you just put it out there, you know what I mean? You just, even if it's going to change tomorrow, never mind. You're getting your brain working on it. Eric, kayaking, excellent. Camping and fishing adventures. Wow, that's fabulous. Excellent. Thank you, Eric. You might have heard from my accent. I was actually born and grew up in Cape Town, so I have the slightly South African accent, and even though my parents were English. So certainly that would be a place where kayaking, camping, and fishing will be a great possible place to be doing a lot of those. Thank you, Eric. Great. I will continue to the next point here. I'll keep an eye on if anyone else shares that. Fabulous. So defining your audience. Now, in all the different talks that we give, we always talk about knowing your audience. It's just so important. Let me just quickly go back to Tracy's treasured keepsakes. Oh, wow. I keep keepsakes, bear, etc., from sentimental items of clothing. Excellent. I'd love to inspire others as to what can be achieved from their clothes. Lovely. I love that, Tracy. That's great. James, I've launched a pop-up ramen business and want to share my journey with people who love this type of food. Excellent. Or who are thinking of launching food businesses. That's great, James. Thank you. I certainly am often cooking, so I certainly look out for different health ones particularly. So thank you so much there. Arise, what care and support worker. Excellent. Why? To encourage more people to join the sector. Excellent. That's really great. Thank you. I think it's Arisa Abiola, but I'm pronouncing the Spanish way. I'm not totally sure, but thank you so much. That's fabulous. Okay, so defining audience. We always talk about knowing your audience more than anything with all these different things. The more you know, okay, great. So the more that you can actually get the feedback and actually use these different things, the more you can know about your audience. So in addition to why you're telling the story about it's also about who you're targeting. You really want to identify your audience, who is going to be visiting your channel. Now, obviously, ideally, you think about this before you launch all these different things. But of course, don't forget, a lot of them you will learn once you've launched these different videos to see. Actually, it's never stopping, business of seeing who your audience is and building it. So who or where is your audience? Think about all the details: age, gender, parental status, household income, geographic location. What are their behaviors and interests? Hobbies, music, movies, sport, history, pets. What do they name their pets? All these different things, product research. And then what video content are they watching? Informational, conversational, social, emotional, entertainment. The big thing is, if you can really build up this persona of the main client, then you can imagine when you're putting a lot of these different videos together, you can imagine that you're channeling even just to one person who's like representing that persona. You can get a real feel for it when you're building it up, and it becomes much more personable, and you can work out exactly who you're communicating with. Now, obviously, I'm aware that some of you will have many different divisions. So, of course, you might have many different persona. When I say sort of one persona is kind of your main client, sort of working out particularly who they are. And it's kind of making sure that you can communicate with them and that this is who they are for, particularly. Because, of course, to a large extent, YouTube is almost, it's a free gift, of course, you're giving to these people so they can see it, that you're sharing it with them, they can get enthused about it as well. You're starting up to a large extent as well, a community of people who particularly like those videos and everything. And also you building up the more they see these things. I don't know about you. I mean, I compose music for film. And so a lot of the ones I'm watching are these to do with composing and everything. And often if I see someone who I know, I will go, oh, yes, I remember that person. And it's that building up of trust and everything. Excellent. So we've got as well, Siri, supporting women 40 plus, finding their true north, rediscover themselves. I love that. Their true north. Yes. That recompassing, setting and everything. Rediscover themselves and create a life they love after toxic relationships. That's fabulous. Thank you, Siri. That's wonderful. Yes. And a lot of people certainly are coming from that kind of experience. So that's wonderful. Thank you, Siri. So, okay, with all these different things is building those different things. So, okay, so that's defining your audience. And the more clear you can be, the better. And I'm going to be telling you about some of the different things you can use to help you gauge, who your audience, and give you more and more information to help you. It's very important that you kind of put these things together, and then of course it's kind of like a sort of loop, and then you come across and see, now, have I actually succeeded? Have I managed to actually do it? And gauging all of these things, which is very, very important. Rose, I'm sure yours was not too vague. Where was yours, Rose? Let me just, Rose. I'm so sorry, I just didn't see it. I'm so sorry, Rose. Reducing stress and enjoying success. Books and courses. Excellent. That's fabulous. Especially now with what's been happening, what's been going on. Sorry, Rose, I didn't see that. My apologies. I've also got here, George, encyclopedia in everyday life, undiscovered usual things. Excellent. There's so many fascinating ideas here. Is there anyone else I've missed? Let me just quickly see now. No, I don't think I have missed anyone. Okay, good. Sorry, just bear with me a moment. Just trying to get that thing to stop doing that. Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, great. So let us move on to the next point here. So creating a persona. Now, this is, I mean, I know I kind of mentioned this already, but a persona, of course, is a representation of your ideal subscribers, the majority of them, the individuals who will, come back time and time again, to watch your videos and potentially refer you to new subscribers, ideally. Now, whatever the content may be, you will always have a persona that your videos resonate with. So in that sense, it's important to try to understand, learn, and adapt to that persona. Now, don't forget, a good friend of mine who he plays games online on YouTube, and there's a lot of following in that kind of thing. I don't think he uses so much YouTube, he uses other ones. But the point being that he started with 2. Now he's got those 2 as moderators. So, it takes time to build up these different things. Don't lose faith in these things. You can get that. Thank you, Michael. Security. As I want to leverage my 9 years teaching and 16 years security experience. Excellent. To benefit challenging young people. Excellent. That's really good. Especially nowadays. There's a lot, of course, happening with security as well. Very, very important. There was Sundar Pichai, who was giving a talk actually in Belfast, and one of the things we're talking about there was Sec Lambda 2, which is another version, which again was for security. Excellent. Fascinating. Okay, anyway, sorry, I mustn't get distracted. So here, creating persona. So, for example, works 9 to 5, UK, car enthusiast, goes to car shows, takes pride in his car, frequents, online forums, goes to YouTube to learn, has 2 kids and always short of time. This is one of the big things that you've got to be aware of, that it's going to take a bit of time, and people don't have much time. And of course, once you're following these different things, you're going to get feedback, because one of the feedbacks you can get is, of course, from YouTube. And sometimes it will be people leave it. But don't get put to, I mean, just think about it yourself. When you go onto YouTube, often you start watching something and you stop it even just because you haven't got time, or you need to speak to, or you need to look after your children, there's just so many different things which are calling you left, right, and center. But the point is, you're just gradually building these different things. And persona is a great tool, when creating content. As whenever you get stuck, you can ask yourself, would this resonate with, in this case, Rohan? Would it resonate with this person? It also highlights the style of content you might create. For example, here as Rohan is short of time, quick, short videos, 3 minutes or something, are going to suit him over a longer form of videos. Now, something else to help you as well. There is YouTube Creator Academy. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Mohammed will give you the link there for YouTube Creator Academy to help you. And excuse me, this is people who've been very successful with YouTube, and they're giving you some advice to help you. For example, how long a video should be, 3 minutes, whatever it might be. Excuse me. And then also, if you're going to be putting it over time, whether it's going to be in part 1, part 2, part 3, all those different things, so which can help you a lot. Selena, having discovered AI, oh yes, I want to realistically show how they can be used. Excellent. If useful, cost, etc., especially for my generation. Yeah, absolutely. If we may not be up on it, but want to know, it can be scary. Absolutely. I was in Brussels when Sundar was giving the talk, actually, there, and being interviewed and everything, and I was showing some of the different things. Don't forget, of course, Selena, there is, of course, there's a new Google search coming about. I mean, it's not be all end all, but this is just so you know, the Google side. And then there's also, of course, Google Bard. And then there's Duet AI, which is coming out, which is for the workspace. And then there's also immersive view as well, where you can actually go the route and see birds flying past and everything. There's several screens, but I'm not demonstrating it. There's also going to be with Google Photos, Magic Eraser, Magic Editor, and then of course there's also Google responsibility of watermarking and labeling, which is very, very important, so people can see where the image originates, because now AI can actually create images just like that, so it's important they can see all these different things. Okay, so I hope that helps. Absolutely, Gary, you're quite right. So one of the big things is there was actually a talk, sorry, we're digressing onto AI, but let me just quickly say that I remember there was a talk a bit of time ago. It was actually by the person who ran one on Siri and everything and Apple. And he said that they did tests of a nurse detecting for cancer. Then they did the computer, which is AI, detecting cancer. And the nurse did better, but when they eventually combined them both, eventually it was 99.9%. So it's often that combination. So often the AI will get you started. And then, of course, once you've got that started, then, of course, it needs you to go through and iron out what is important and all those kind of different things. Excellent. SH3DXZ. That's quite a name. Okay, so I just started using Bard last week. Excellent. Yes, choose different formats, articles. Yeah, I mean, it's constantly being developed. At the moment, it's on trial, a lot of these different things. And some of the different things like, Duet AI and everything are not accessible to all countries yet. We sort of test it out in various countries. And also, for example, immersive view is, I think it'd be 15 cities by the end of this year. So it's taking time to get out there because, of course, it needs to be tested. It's a heavy responsibility with all these different things. That's great. Thank you, Gary. I think the real value is having conversation with chat AI. Absolutely. The more more information you can get quickly like that to help you, assist you, is great. And I do feel it's that sort of combination of both human and AI, of course, very important. Okay, so anyway, back onto persona. So it's very important to work out all these different points. Now we have our what, why, and who. Now we can use them all together to create our content ideas. Excellent. Excellent. So I'm getting distracted. I will move on soon, but you're So SH3DXZ, you're in Jamaica. Excellent. Normally we don't get too experienced at testing. Okay, but yeah, give it a go once it's across there. All right, excellent, Selena. All right, so let us move on to the next one. So the what, why, and who. So we can use them all together to create our content ideas. It's fabulous. I love the interaction anyway. I mean, this is the whole point of our webinars. And of course, it's great. I can see your chat there. I can interact with you immediately. But anyway, let me move on. So the different areas. So what my passion is looking after cars, for example, in this case, why I want to share my knowledge and teach others, who, persona, Rohan, the car enthusiast who loves his car. So there's building up all of these different things, and you've got to have the what, why, and who till you're ready to really start putting the whole thing together. Excellent. Pausing for questions. Okay, let me just go down quickly to see if there's any questions. So far, there's a lot of chat, which is fabulous, which, of course, Mohammed and I have been taking part in, which is absolutely great. Any questions so far? We've got under 42.42 on that. So any questions further on those particular areas, particularly, of course, at the moment to do with YouTube. So I got slightly distracted onto AI. Any further questions? All right, so I don't think there are any at present, but don't forget, you can always ask your questions further down the line. I'm going to move on to the next section here now, okay? Creating engaging content. Now, obviously, the next step, create engaging content. And as you know, of course, AI is very helpful in those directions. The most important thing, though, is important to remember, often AI can be detected with certain patterns, and of course it needs your personalized element, which is so important. And the whole point is, this is your story. Now, okay, I'll move on, otherwise I get distracted. So from planning to strategy to the equipment you need, we're going to cover all these different areas. Now, this is going to be quite tech-based to help you and assist you. Okay. Yes, Selena, there are some stats on video length and purpose. We will be covering them a little bit in this talk coming up, don't worry. So what do you think makes engaging YouTube content? Now, the big thing is, think about the videos that you have a look at. Always go back to yourself. I mean, obviously, ideally, you're the persona who is your main client and everything, but also to yourself. So what makes you subscribe and share and everything? So go through these different things. What kind of things, as you can see, there are many things that we all enjoy about content. There's many different contributions, which is fabulous. Now, we all like watching different things for different reasons. I watch composing for films, which not everyone's into that particular side. The great thing is there are simple and effective ways to get your audience feeling the same about your content. The biggest point is you are helping and assisting them. Now, one way to see what is popular on YouTube is, of course, by viewing what is trending on the homepage. Now, don't forget, your client will have the similar interest to you. So check out those different things that you are watching and what you feel. Use them as a reference material, what really, makes sense to you. Now, the list of trending videos helps viewers, see what's popular and happening on YouTube and in the world. So together, we're going to look at creative strategies that really help develop engaging videos and build a loyal community. Now, let's break down the steps needed to create engaging content, step by step through all of these different things, okay? Now, so steps to create engaging content. First and foremost, of course, it is research and plan. Research will give you a strong foundation for engaging content. Obviously, you can use AI as well to help you and assist you there, or you can go yourself, whatever way you prefer. Very important that you do research. Do as much research as possible. Planning your content will make creating it easier and save you time in the long run. Now, an hour of planning can save you 10 hours of doing. This is very true. I have actually trained gourmet chefs in a restaurant in Norway, in Bergen, Norway. And that was one of the things when I was the head chefs were, no, we don't need a script. We don't need to do that. I was like, okay, fine. So, of course, when we got ahead and we were ready to film, we were filming. And, of course, then the chef discovered, yes, he did need to work this thing out. So it's so important to help you and assist you. Now, obviously, with the different size, you don't have to have everything down exactly. You don't have to read that exact script, but you have to know how, the format of it. Now, we'll be covering that just now. But the more you can think about it, give yourself time to plan ahead and think, okay, I'll be covering this, that session, that, and then when you come to it later, you will have given your brain time to mull over it, think about it, which is so important. So have your equipment ready. It's easier than you may think, really, to get started. Now, we'll have a look at, using equipment you already have. Start with what you've got, as well as ways to enhance your video further. Creating your content, once you're actually ready, get out and give it a go. Try it out. Give, lots of failures eventually to great success. So it's so important to take on a trial and error attitude. Very, very important. And constantly gauging whether it's working or not. We'll take a look at the simple steps consider, when actually editing these different things. Starting, of course, with research. Now, to know what resources are actually available to support your research, being well informed can really kickstart your creative process. Get inspired, explore competitor content. This is the point. You're learning from your competitors. Look at what is already being done. Listen to experts, someone with experience, and learn from their story. How they being such a success. I mean, we've got Google Creator Academy to help you and assist you, and there's a lot of people who've been successful with it. And then analyze the new social media trends. This is very important. You can see all them social media trends on YouTube, and then current events or debates that people may feel strongly about, and determine how these contribute to the conversation. So there are many resources available to you to support your research needs. Here are some to consider using. So it's one, of course. I mean, obviously there's AI. I know we don't mention so much in this talk, but Think with Google is very useful. As mentioned, Find My Audience is one tool which you'll find within Think with Google on thinkwithgoogle.com. There are many useful research resources. You will find the data we're exploring and the trends we're tracking, along with forward-looking perspectives and behind-the-scenes looks, which is a great way to use it, and at digital campaigns across industries, platforms, and audiences. And then, of course, there is Google Trends. This actually allows you to track the popularity of various search terms over a period of time. The one word of warning, if you put what's called a long tail keyword, many words into that keyword, often you'll get a result. It'll go, not much of a response. Don't forget, if you are registered with Google Ads, I didn't say you're running a campaign. If you are registered with Google Ads, you have the free tool of Keyword Planner, which is settings and tools and settings. Click on that, and then you can see. If you only get settings, click on settings and go into expert mode. Then you've got tools and settings, and you can use that as well to assist you. The great thing about Google Trends, just going back to Google Trends, of course, it's totally free, and you can see it over a period of time, and you can compare the different things as well. And, there's a lot of search traffic around unboxing, tends to spike every year in the months of November and December, which is interesting, particularly maybe buying for Christmas. So there are different things as well. So if you already have a channel, utilize YouTube search traffic will allow you to see what searches direct viewers to your content. Now, this can give you insights on things like titling, popular formats, audience familiarity with your name or brand. For example, a channel may notice that a significantly higher number of viewers arrive to the channel by searching for the title of a popular format, like meme review, as opposed to searching for the channel name itself. This would actually indicate a higher viewer affinity for the format, might encourage the channel to make the format a bigger part of the overall channel's content, just as an example. YouTube Analytics. Now, of course, YouTube Analytics lets you monitor the performance of your channel's videos and content with up-to-date metrics and reports. So there's a ton of data available, different reports, views, traffic sources, demographics. We will look at how to use your analytics to measure your progress later, of course, in this session. Right, now once you've actually researched your passion, audience, and everything in between, you want to think about the type of content to actually create. So, the right type of content for you. Now, consider what resources and time you have. What can you realistically achieve within your day-to-day? How can you actually make time for your channel and your content? So, of course, all of you are very busy. You're running your own companies. So deciding what type, well, not all of you, but a lot of you will be. So deciding what type of content is right for you is so important. There are a number of different options. One-off videos, get your message across with a quick, impactful hit. Short form, keeping your video under 3 minutes. This is, great if you plan to be a always-on channel, releasing content with a continuous theme in the same format, for example. And then, of course, we've got the longer form video. Can you deliver information in a way that keeps people coming back for more? Now, long form typically means longer than 3 minutes. And now, an example of this would be podcasts, interviews, live stream, documentaries. And then, of course, we've got series. Take as long as you want to tell your story. A series of a variety of videos that connect, to complete your story. Part 1, part 2, part 3, etc. You can really release them all at once or sporadically. Or maybe this becomes, a regular post for you on your channel. So you may want to start small. We always advise start small and then build as you grow into the platform, or maybe even try and test a few different styles of content with your audience. The whole point is you're constantly getting feedback on this, and don't be put off too much by the fact that it might start slow. Okay. Now, when deciding what content works best for you, refer back to your goal and why you are creating your content. This is very, very important. Keep consistent with this. It can be helpful to create a release schedule as well. The more you can plan in ahead, it's like with blogs, often I say to people, plan a year in advance. Maybe do the same thing with YouTube. Plan a year in advance. Obviously, month 11, you might be going, I don't know what I'll be. But the point is you get your brain working on these different things. Okay. So consider a release schedule. So how many videos can you release per week? What days of the week you will release on? So having a set number of recurring releases linked to specific days of the week will ensure that audiences, know exactly when they can expect content to be posted to your channel. And let me tell you that your audience can be quite cross if they've got used to a certain pattern and then there's no video because you're on holiday or whatever. Just warn your audience. Will you rotate content type? Some creators rotate content type throughout the week. An example of this would be posting lightweight vlogs, BTS on Tuesday, and then higher production value sketches on Friday, for example. And then will you link content to specific days in the week? Tech review Tuesday or fun facts Friday. This is an example. Okay, so set it all up as clear as possible for you, so you're setting your what you're going to do over the different times. Okay, structure your story. Now, there was a test. Let me just tell you the story quickly. TED Talks, they were talking about a test they did, and the audience who were volunteers, let me assure you, they were volunteers, and they had detectors attached to their scalp to pick up their brain waves. Person went in front of them on the stage, started talking a bit about that. And then when that person started on the story, I'm not saying they all went into sync, no, but they started to go a little bit more into sync. If you think about it, if you go and see a movie, you get caught up with it, and you go, and then suddenly you realize that you're not alone. You've got all these people reacting at the same time. Stories are very, very important. For us humans, we look for the story. And often, if it resonates with us or not, that's where we look. What is this person's story? So it's very, very important, that you've got that story. So you've got things like the beginning, which is a hook, middle, engage, and then end. Calls to action. Excuse me. Calls to action. What to do next. Buttons to click on to follow through on the different things. So beginning hook. So introduce the aim of the video and make sure all of your content tees up to this aim. You want to hook your audience, grab their attention at the beginning as they continue watching. Middle, engage. This is your main content. What are you trying to communicate and why is it important? Everything should ladder up to your core content goals. You may want to identify a problem for your viewers and follow it with a solution. End, call to action. A clear call to action tells the audience what to do next. Subscribe, comment, watch another video of yours. Again, think back to your goal. Actively ask for comments, likes, and subscribers to your videos. Try and focus on the benefits of subscribing. Very important, and leads to more viewers and more promotion as similar searched or viewed on YouTube. Now, this may be your final clear and call to action, but you will probably want to have mentioned it early on in your video too. So, not everyone watches to the end, don't forget. Call to actions can be used throughout your video, as well as, certainly for if you want to subscribe, I see it often in the first sort of minute and then right at the end as well to remind them. So before filming, you may want to write down what you're going to say. Now, writing for video. So creators, do this in various ways. When I used to run a 2D, 3D and whiteboard animation company, when I was doing whiteboard animation, I used to write out eventually what the voiceover was going to be, and then I would sketch roughly, very, very roughly, just underneath and then of course I would, if they were happy with it, I'd go on to vector graphics and all the rest. But, everyone has their own particular method. It could be as simple as a page of talking points to remind yourself of what topics you want to cover. It's whatever works for you. That's the most important thing. And then depending on the type and complexity of your video, you may write a full script. You can do that. This provides specific dialogue, for speakers, and it can include directions for the crew as well. If you have one, even if it's your friend filming for you. Okay. If you're looking to create a scripted video, you can find sample templates online. Okay. Thank you very much, Mohammed. He's going to be giving you the links there for sample templates, particularly. Okay. And it's best, of course, to write with your own flair and voice. This is a big thing. This is your story. Everyone has their own way of storytelling. So try to put as much of yourself into it as possible, because, it's going to be, more authentic. Even if you don't help scripting experience, you don't have scripting experience, jump in and write from your own unique perspective. Keep in mind your what, why, and who as your foundations. This will really help you decide the tone of your voice, your writing style, and all that kind of side. I do remember one of the composers for film was always very much like that, and writing at first I don't think I really liked those videos, and I got him. But eventually I got used to him and his style, and actually he's very amusing and very informative and very helpful as well. So he even took his keyboard and threw it into the swimming pool, which was a very bizarre series. But he managed to plug it in a month later, and it worked, which is a very bizarre trial. Anyway, so a few brief tips for writing dialogue. Speak directly to the audience. Use you and talk to your viewers. Now, I myself, I'm trained as an actor, and of course, this is one of the biggest things. When you're on a big stage, like 3,000 people, I wish, but you're still talking like there's persons right there, and you'll have people's full attention. So use you and talk to your viewers. It's more personable, and people prefer being spoken to rather than spoken at. You get my gist. Now, write it the way, you would say it. Your audience isn't going to read your script. So write what you would actually say, not what looks best on paper. There was one person who gave talk, I do remember when I was studying. And sadly, she was the worst lecturer I found for myself at the time, because she'll be reading exactly what was actually her PhD, which is wonderful, which is really good. But at the same time, it didn't communicate it across to the audience. And it's so important that obviously you can have it written down, but you've got to bring it alive. You've got to sort of communicating and so forth. We do, of course, as much as we can. We can't actually see you, but we can see your chat and all the rest. So the more it can be interactive, the better, Then read your script out loud. This is the only way to find out if your dialogue sounds natural. If you make changes, read it out loud again. Something which is very popular is live streaming. We've got a talk on live streaming as well. We do recommend that one because it's very popular with search engines. If you do live streaming, there's OBS, Open Broadcaster Software. I'd recommend we use that for a long time. We use StreamYard now, simpler one. I'm a tech geek, so of course I prefer the Open Broadcaster software. But one of the things is you must have a moderator. The moderator will be answering the questions, just like I've got at the moment, Mohammed. It's very, very important that you do have a moderator to look after everyone whilst you're giving this, you're talking about the slides, going through all the different points. You will often miss some people, like I did with you. I'm so sorry, Rose. So it's very important that your moderator is communicating with you. So important. Anyway, going back onto the videos. So we've got here now, develop your story shot by shot. Okay, so storyboards are a great tool to use to really plan out your video. You don't need to be an artist, believe you me. Yeah, I'm not an artist, to sketch out your video plan. So start with your beginning, middle, and end, and then plan each shot, in more detail. Sorry, I'm just gonna have some water quickly. It is very, very hot, yeah, in the UK at present. So start with your beginning, middle, and end, and then plan each of the different shots in detail. The more you can plan, the easier it is to actually shoot your video because you've thought it through. There are digital tools available if you prefer, such as storyboardthat.com. Storyboardthat.com. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Thank you. He's given you the link already. You could even write your storyboard out as a shot list. I mean, as I said, when I'm doing the whiteboard animation, I write it out, sketch it very roughly underneath. If you don't want to draw the visuals, the important thing here is to consider the details. For each shot, consider, your goal is this, so particularly with the goal, is this part of the hook, engage, or call to action plan of your story? The visuals, what can be seen in the shot, very important. Background, item, person. There's another brand somewhere there. It might be a little bit distracting, but the whole point, this is your particular talk. Audio, sound, very, very important. A lot of people go offline because they can't hear the person correctly. What can be heard in the shot? Is the music, talking, props? What's needed to make this shot effective? Crew, do you need help? Do you need someone to be filming, or is your camera placed somewhere stationary? Do you need something passed to the presenter whilst in the shot? Lighting is another thing which comes up in the next one. So that's another area as well. With all your research and planning done, the next thing to consider is your equipment, of course. Okay, so start with what you have, please. Don't go rushing out and buying everything. Now, the good news is you probably already have most of the things you actually need to get started, which is kind of cool. Video camera. With technology continuing to improve on your phones or iPhones, whatever it might be, most camera phones now are higher resolution and definitely good enough to get you started. Think about mounting the smartphone on a tripod, because of course a stable image looks better than created with an unsteady handheld camera. I mean, obviously it's used in films as well, but it's got to be for a reason. So for your stable camera there, if you can't invest in a tripod, use something steady to rest the phone against, at a height that will suit your video, but make sure it's not going to fall and smash the screen. Okay, lighting. Good lighting can really enhance the look on the camera. Natural light is effective for filming. Now, just a word of warning, make sure that it's going to be consistent and stay the same. I mean, I've got a skylight here. When I was broadcasting, but I broadcast as well for Google News Initiative, and it was for Sub-Saharan Africa, and it was in Botswana, and it started. She was beautifully lit and everything, got started, I went through everything. She went through the talk, and gradually, what I gradually realized was that her main light was natural lighting and the sun was setting. So by the time it got to the end of the talk, all I could see particularly were her eyes and her teeth. And I pointed this out. She was, oh my God. But the point was, I didn't want to interrupt the talk, her lighting above, which was the worst. I didn't want to interrupt it, because of course, interrupting the talk, oops, something's gone wrong on the screen whilst you fix it. And I thought she was suddenly go, oh my God, where can I get the lighting? I didn't want to cause, too much of a problem there. The most important thing is, of course, the audio. If the audio is staying throughout, that's very, very important. So natural lighting is effective. Now, of course, beware of shadows, especially across your face. It could be distracting to your viewers. Try and angle the lighting you do have to balance light left and right. I've got one light over there as bright as possible to try and go and get the skylight. I've got one over there, which is a different color, to try and get a little bit of the... Now, video editing software, of course, there's many different ones. There's iMovies. Of course, you can use Windows Movie Maker. You can also do some quick editing touch-ups in YouTube Studio as well. So, for example, you can add or edit end screens as well as trim unwanted sections of your video before or after publishing. You can always add to your basic equipment, but as you can see, you can start with what you have. So what's stopping you? Now, one of the things particularly is, if you're going to start with anything, it will probably be, okay, so tripod. As mentioned earlier, if it's steady and everything, that's very important. Lighting, ideally, LED lights are great. I've got LED light. It can be very powerful. It can make me look like a skeleton. A ghost. That's what I meant. It's very important that you don't put it too bright. Sometimes mine, without the skylight, I can put it at 14%, and it's bright enough. 14% of the full capacity. Microphone, it's so important, the sound. So you can't use, of course, your iPhone or your Android phone sitting over there recording, because you're supposed to have it right close. So if anything, it would be a microphone you might invest in. Video editing software, as you get more experience, you can create in content. You may decide to purchase more sophisticated over time. I've got to watch the clock here. I'm rushing against it here. Consider what can be seen, what is in the background. Take out all the different... so choose your space carefully. Try and find a room with clothes or carpets, and avoid echoes. The worst place, probably the bathroom, to be filming that. Camera positions, consider angles, movements. Think about how your video will open and close and what the key elements in between are. Consider recording your audio separately. Use a free audio app like RecForge or Recorder Plus and record your audio file with a separate device to the one you're filming with. Now, considering all the detail prior to filming and while shooting is going to make the editing process easier. So, import and organize your footage. Okay, so version 1, version 2, all of those kind of things can help you. Review and place your favorite clips. Watch your footage and select the clips that you plan to use. Trim clips or delete entire clips. Add visuals and sound effects. Check your sound. Make color corrections as well, depending on your project and the software you're using. You can fix your brightness and change the color to match all of your different shots. Be consistent. Export and upload your video. So review the video a few times to make sure that you're satisfied with how everything looks and sounds, then prepare to export. So understand, of course, these steps further. Head over to the Creator Academy. I mentioned it to you before, for a beginner's guide to video editing. Okay, pausing for questions. I've got 3 minutes left. So, Selena, wonder if there are any stats on video length and purpose. Yes, the Google Creator Academy, that can help you masses. There you go, Selena. I have questions, but more about marketing, the algorithm, and whether or not the length of video affect by virality. Absolutely. It's mentioned as well in Creator Academy, but we are going to be covering this largely in Get Discovered and Track Your Success. But I've got to move fast. So use keywords. Once you upload your video, it's important to include searchable video titles, descriptions, and tags to make it easy for people to find your video, even if they're not specifically looking for it. Don't forget, your website, embed the video there as well. That can help masses. If it's a blog, for example, okay, understand your keywords. Use popular terms around your existing keywords to help your video get found, particularly. Use Google Trends and Google Ads Keyword Planner, which I've mentioned already to you. Avoid irrelevant words in your description because it creates a poor viewing experience and may violate YouTube policies. And then try to find out what your audience is looking for. Use the autocomplete suggestions. When you type in on YouTube, it auto-completes what words does it put in there, so that helps your masses. Once you know once you know your keywords, use them. Make sure that they are searchable. Write searchable titles and descriptions. Descriptions can really convey valuable information that helps viewers find your videos in search results and understand what they'll be watching. Well-written descriptions with the right keywords can boost views and watch time because they help your video to appear in search results. Reinforce important words. Mini lemon meringue pies appears in the video's title and description, which increases the likelihood that YouTube could surface the video in search results. Identify content type, so that is clear about what your video is about. What are the examples we see here? For example, 10 steps, how to, easy recipe, reaction video. Label with brand or videos. So who's done this? So Mama Cherry in description, Super Sorrel in title. So keep your description short and visible. Consider how your description starts, as this is a section that can be read easily. Just shorten 2 lines. Add video tags. There we go. Use the tags field during the video upload. And then quick tip, consider information not communicated in your title and description. Think about how you search on YouTube. Very, very important. Build your community, integrate your channel into your website, social media, email, and anything that you are visible online. So important. Excellent way to get your videos in front of interested viewers. Add links to your emails, videos, to your blogs, add your social media handles, into your description page. Community tab to interact directly with your subscribers who build trust, which already does build trust and loyalty. You can also add buttons to your YouTube banner to take your viewers directly to your other pages. Promote and integrate your channel. As well as doing this from your YouTube channel, you can do it from other social pages too. So give teasers across other social pages to encourage viewers across to your YouTube page. You want to be creating a community around your brand and get your community to spread the word. So what has Mama Cherry done here to promote for YouTube channel on other platforms? Adding her social platform links on the YouTube channel, added links to YouTube channel to her social platforms, consistent branding and tone of voice, integrated YouTube views on her social media pages. Now, if you head over to her website, you'll also see that she has integrated her YouTube videos to her site. This is a great way to make the most of your content as well as reach more viewers. Now, understand your users. There's analytics, of course, to help you masses. So sign in to your YouTube Studio app page and select analytics, and it will give you masses of information. What type of content are driving viewers to your channel? What creators your audience has an affinity for, and the reach plus scope of your content as a big picture consideration. Should also look at the percentage of your watch time coming from suggested traffic overall. Now, these stats help you know what's working and what's not, so you can adapt and change to build your channel to suit your audience. Now, to understand further and get the most out of your analytics, head over to Support Google, support.google/YouTube answer. So thank you very much. Mohammed will provide you with a link there. So measure your success on YouTube. I'd like to know if my content is reaching users. So there's impressions is logged every time a viewer comes across one of your videos, thumbnails on YouTube. Be aware this does not include traffic from notifications, end screens, or external embeds. Click-through rate shows you what percentage of your impressions on YouTube turned into views, and effectively measures how often viewers watched a video after seeing an impression. And then views, YouTube video views reflect how many times a video has been watched and can be an important measure of a video's overall popularity. Are my viewers interested? Average view duration, how long did they watch it for till it came off it? Watch time charts, how long viewers have spent viewing your content. Questions. I've had to rush through that. Eric, Benedict, how can we contact you regarding particular video issues in future? Please, Eric, if you are in the UK, do book for a one-to-one mentoring session. My name is Benedict. Of course, Mohammed's name is Mohammed. So, I mean, obviously, book for, if you want to ask for me, just mention my name and you can book for a session. I'm normally available on Fridays. It's often my good day for booking for mentoring. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Mohammed, I can see he's already giving you the link there for booking for a one-to-one session. Okay, fabulous. Just to remind you, find your niche, build your channel foundations by asking what, why, who, create engaging content, research and plan, choose the right type of content for you, create with confidence, be consistent, get discovered and track your success, use keywords to help people find your Video track your success with YouTube Analytics. Don't be afraid to try new content. And don't forget there's Google Analytics as well for your website to help you as well. What are the next steps? My goodness, there are masses. Oh, you're in Canada, Eric. Oh dear. Well, Eric, I hope soon we will be offering across to America as well. I mean, in Canada, because it would be great. I'm sorry we can't provide that to you. Okay, so just a reminder again, the one-to-one mentoring. I'm sorry, Eric, and everyone who's in another country. Unfortunately, we can only provide 2 ones in the UK at present. Obviously, if you've got a branch of your company within the UK, obviously you can use that to take advantage of that. So, but anyway, it'd be great to see a lot of you there. Okay, I'm so sorry, I'm over time here. Thank you for all your questions. We are really going to wrap up here as we are out of time. Sorry, I got a bit much talking about different things. Hablando en español, lo siento. So I hope that has been a useful dive into creating videos for YouTube. As I mentioned at the beginning of the session, if you're interested in more training from Google Digital Garage, there are a few ways you can continue learning. We are running many more Google Digital Garage webinars in different subjects. If you would like to check out the schedule of webinars, please see information on this in the description below. There will be different topics available to watch, and we will be updating the schedule regularly. Plus, if you would like to carry on learning online in your own time, check out the Google Digital Garage website for more online training, which are available 24/7. Finally, feedback, please provide it here. If you want to go even further, team@thedigitalgarage.co.uk. It's also at the bottom of the description. Great stuff. I want to thank everyone for joining today. Fabulous interaction, which is really fabulous. And thank you so much for Wenta. It's been wonderful doing this in partnership with you. Wonderful, all these people who've been attending. So fabulous. We really do look forward to welcoming you again to another Google Digital Garage training session soon. Thank you.